John Constable emerges during the July monarchy. Chantal Pajon and Jessica Barksdale. The July monarchy began with the King of the French. The effective power drastically provoked a change in artwork, especially for the Romantic painters. King Louis Philippe influenced the Revolution of July. It began with the overthrow of Charles X and the House of Bourbon. Upon this time, King Philippe made his stance as the King of the French. Prior, titles for kings in their monarchy were that of the King of France. Louis Philippe was the King of the French. The July monarchy was a time that the Romantic painters flourished. It ranged from 1830 to 1848, and it was generally seen as a period during which the bourgeois were dominant, and they marked their shift from the counter-revolutionary legitimists to the Orleanists, those who were willing to make some compromises. Here's John Constable. He was an English Romantic painter. He was born June 11th, 1776 in Suffolk, England. It's one of the smallest market towns. Predominantly, he's known for landscape paintings of Dedham Vale. This was the surrounding area near his home. This same area is now known as Constable Country. John Constable had an educational upbringing. His father was a successful businessman, a wealthy corn merchant who had 2 different mills. He also had an older brother who was mentally handicapped, so it was always assumed that John would take over the business. John worked in the corn business after leaving school, but it was his younger brother who actually took over the running of the mills. John was afforded the luxury of education and was well-traveled. Through his many endeavors, he was always drawn to art, and it seems he was born with a deep passion whose artistic capabilities still make an impression to this day. Throughout his youth, he was inspired by Claude Lorrain and John Thomas Smith. He then received advice to stay in his father's business to ensure financial success. Still declining the family business, in 1799, John convinced his father to let him attend art school. He then attended Royal Academy schools. By 1803, he was exhibiting paintings at the Royal Academy. Here is Maria Bicknell. She later became Maria Constable. In 1809, John became romantically involved with her. He was his childhood friend. They shared a mutual love for one another. They were wed in October of 1816. The couple had a hard time financially, but they made ends meet through painting portraits until the first painting was sold in 1819, called The White Horse. This was then followed by a series of 6-footers, as he called his large-scale paintings. The Hay of Wayne. This was showed and sold as his painting, which was one of his most famous pieces of art. From this, he exhibited the painting at Paris Salon of 1824, winning a gold medal. Unfortunately, Maria became ill after the birth of their 7th child. At the age of 41, she passed away due to tuberculosis. Constable was deeply saddened and cared for their 7 children alone for the rest of his life. Hourly do I feel the loss of my departed angel. God only knows how my children will be brought up. The face of the world is totally changed to me. This was said by John Constable. According to JohnConstable.com, Constable was never financially successful. He wasn't elected to the Royal Academy until the age of 52. His paintings were most admired in France, where he sold more paintings than in his native town of England. His most famous painting included Dedham Vale of 1802 and the Hay Wain of 1821. Here lies the end of John Constable and Maria Constable. This is their grave. In March of 1835, Constable died of heart failure and was buried with Maria in the graveyard of St. John at Hampstead. His paintings are now among the most popular and valuable in British art. Tourists still visit the countryside where the paintings were created. Everyone is captivated by the mesmerizing beauty from the Romantic era of John Constable.